Hi guys, how's it going? Brian from Brian Boas here. I consider myself really lucky to have a great collection of true red-tailed boas. And in my previous videos I featured quite a few of them, but today I wanted to show you guys some of my red-tailed boas which I haven't featured as much in my previous videos. All these animals definitely have something special about them, and today I just wanted to kind of focus on my lesser known true red-tails. So if you find this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to the Brian Boas YouTube channel for more videos on keeping and breeding boas in captivity. So the first animal I wanted to show is a 2014 female Suriname true red-tailed boa. And I got this animal from my good buddy Matthew Blackburn at World Class Boas. And she's descended from Fruto and wild-caught bloodlines. And just definitely a really cool looking boa. She has a unique look, looks quite a bit different from most of my other Surinames. You can see she's kind of got these blocky saddles and a lot of background markings. She's a real wild looking boa. But she also has a lot of great colors, a lot of purples and pinks and oranges. Let me show you her tail. Her tail is really bright. It's kind of more of an orangey fire engine red. And you can see lots of background marking. So a real cool looking boa. This animal is ready to breed, and I probably will be pairing her up in the upcoming season for her first time, and hopefully some babies from this female in the summer of 2021. The second animal is also a Suriname true red-tail, and this female was born here in 2016. She's from my Peaches bloodline. Just a really colorful animal. She's got lots of really nice pinkish purple coloration, just a real glow to her. She's got these kind of cool non-symmetrical but peak saddles and some speckling, kind of a wild look, but then she's got a super clean tail. So just a real cool classic example of a Suriname true red-tail, and I believe this female should be ready to pair up in about another 2 to 3 years. And I also want to show you another animal from that same litter. This is a male 2016 Suriname, also from the Peaches bloodline. And just like the female, you can see the beautiful pinkish purplish coloration. This particular animal has slightly better peaked saddles. His saddles are a little more symmetrical, with a little bit more of a cleaner background than that female I showed you. Although his overall color is a little bit darker, the female is a little bit lighter. But you can see the long, beautiful red tail. Just a really nice looking animal. He's starting to get that really compressed, muscular body shape associated with adult Surinames. And so he's approaching breeding size. Now we'll shift gears to a Peruvian red-tail. This is a Pucallpa male. This guy was born here in 2015 and was one of the standouts from the litter, just based on his very narrow but slightly peaked saddles, and plus his beautiful golden coloration, which has only gotten better over time. So just a beautiful example of what you can expect in a Peruvian red-tail with these beautiful golden colors. You can see his tail. The Peruvians, the tail is a little bit darker and not quite as long as the Surinames, but they have this intense contrast with the yellowy cream white in the tail and the black and the red. It's just beautiful animals. And it's always hard to pick the ultimate red tail, whether it's the Suriname or the Peruvian or even one of the other types like the Venezuelan or the North Brazilian. But this guy is just a beautiful animal, and I'm planning on pairing him up next year. You can see he's got this nice musculature that we expect in an adult true red-tail. I'm not going to let him squeeze around my neck, but just a really impressive animal. Now to a third locality of true red-tailed boa. This is a Venezuelan true red-tail. This is a female born in 2017, bred by my good buddy Mike Lucchese. And the Venezuelans are hard to find, but definitely underrated locality of true red-tailed boa. They have this beautiful golden brownish coloration. The saddles tend to be non-peaked, and they tend to have this symmetrical kind of bat look to them, or bow tie look. Not bat, shaped like a bow tie. And they have these nice reddish tails, not quite as bright as the Suriname, but definitely beautiful in their own right. And one of the nice things with the Venezuelan true red tails is they don't get quite as big. The adult size is somewhere in the 4 to 6 foot range. So this female is probably going to be ready in about 2 years or so to breed, but just been enjoying watching her grow. And I thought I'd show you the male from the litter. This is a litter mate to the female I just showed you. It's a 2017 Venezuelan true red tail. You can see he's got that same nice golden brownish coloration and the kind of bow tie shaped saddles, but just a really cool boa. And as I mentioned, these Venezuelan red tails are really hard to find. There's not that many people working with them, but my good buddy Michael Beach just had a litter of these, same bloodline, and I believe these will be for sale pretty soon. So you might want to follow Fauna on, the Facebook if you want to acquire one of his Venezuelan true red tails. And I would highly recommend that if you're interested, look into his Venezuelan true red tails. His name again is Michael Beach. Getting back to the Suriname true red tails, I thought I'd show you this 2016 holdback female. This is from my Prometheus bloodline. And I've shown my other Prometheus bloodline holdbacks quite a bit in previous videos, but I don't think I've ever shown this animal. So I thought I'd give her, her 15 seconds of fame, so to speak. But just a beautiful animal with, you can see the peak saddles and the long bright red tail that the Prometheus bloodline animals are famous for. You can see how symmetrical the tail blotch is and how much contrast there is between the red and the black and the creamy white color. Just a beautiful, breathtaking true red-tailed boa. And this female is probably at least 2 years or so away from breeding, but actually I'm planning on pairing some of her brothers up, at least one of her brothers, next year. So fingers crossed that we'll have a second generation breeding of the Prometheus bloodline Surinames available sometime next year. Another really breathtaking Suriname, this is a 2017, and she's actually a cross between my male Prometheus and my female Peaches, so she's kind of got the best of both worlds. She's a half sibling to the female I just showed you, and also a half sibling to the Surinames I showed you at the beginning of the video. And you can see she's got this beautiful pinkish purplish side coloration, this long bright red tail, and she's also got really cool saddle shapes, definitely a little bit different. You can see the saddles are somewhat irregular, they're peaked, but they also have this dot of the lighter background color right in the center, and just a really cool look to these saddles. I'm not sure how the genes mix to show saddles like this, because neither of her parents nor her siblings have this effect, but it's a really cool effect. It makes this boa really unique and definitely an individual. So a really cool animal. In the future I look forward to pairing her with her half-sibling Prometheus bloodline brothers, and that way I'll have animals that are 50% of the Prometheus bloodline. In other words, basically the same as an offspring of Prometheus, who unfortunately is no longer breeding. But real cool project to look forward to, and that'll probably be 3 years or so down the road. But just enjoying watching this little gem of a Suriname develop as she matures. Shifting gears again to another locality of true red-tail, I want to show you some North Brazilian animals. And I have a pair of North Brazilians that I feature often in my videos that came from Mike Weitzman from Basically Boa. I may even breed those next year. But I wanted to show you my other pair that don't get nearly as much airtime. And these are from Vin Russo. These are a 2016 pair. And initially, these animals were kind of nervous and they struck a lot, but they're really calming down nicely as they get older. So you can see this is the male, and he's got this kind of cool, kind of somewhat aberrant pattern. You can see a little bit of striping, And he's got these peak saddles that are somewhat irregular, but he also has a lot of the background markings, which the North Brazilian boas are famous for. And then his coloration is kind of this grayish, brownish yellow in color. It's definitely distinct from the coloration of a Suriname or Peruvian true red tail. And then you can see he's got a relatively short red tail, not nearly as long as my Surinames, but you know, a really cool looking boa in his own right. And I also have a female from that same litter from Vin Russo, a 2016 North Brazilian true red tail. And this animal is similar to the male I just showed you, but her markings are a little more symmetrical. Just a really beautiful animal with a high contrast saddle markings and a lot of cool background markings. So these animals are probably at least 2 to 3 years away from breeding. Might breed them, what would that be, like 2022? You know, they're at this point they're starting to get that nice musculature of a sub-adult boa. In the future, I might also breed them with my animals from Basically Boas, my North Brazilians from Basically Boas. But you know, a lot of cool potential for my North Brazilian true red-tailed boa group. This is one of my most recently produced Suriname true red-tails. This is a 2018 holdback, and he's from a cross of a Fudo bloodline animal to a Florida Red-Tails bloodline animal. And he's got these really nice symmetrical peak saddles and pink sides, and you can see the long bright red tail. Just a real nice classic Suriname true red-tailed boa. So I didn't produce any Surinames last year. I have a gravid female now, so with any luck I'll have some more Suriname babies in another few months. And I thought I'd wrap up the video by showing you another couple animals from Peru. These are from Iquitos, locality of true red-tailed boa. And so this is a female that was farm bred, born in 2016. And she's really got the classic look that's associated with the Iquitos locality. You'll notice she's got these inky black saddles and this high amount of contrast between her saddles and her golden yellowish background color. And then you can see her tail, this long bright red tail. So in general, the Iquitos animals tend to have a little bit more symmetrical and regular saddles than the Pucallpa animals. They have kind of more of an aberrant, wild-looking pattern. And they also have, in general, a slightly longer red tail, although it's somewhat debatable about the differences between Pucallpa and Iquitos Peruvian red-tails. And in fact, I did a video recently entitled Iquitos versus Pucallpa red-tail, is there a difference? So be sure to check that out if you want to learn more about true red-tailed boas from Peru. But this animal, I would say, really nicely embodies what's associated with the Iquitos locality. You can see also the nice speckly body, and Peruvian boas in general have a lot of speckles on their belly. And the last boa, this is another farm-bred Iquitos, Peru, true red-tailed boa, also born in 2016. And this guy, you can see, has the beautiful golden yellowish background color. You can see he's got this faint peach orange lateral stripe, although I actually have another male Iquitos that I've shown in quite a few videos that has a much stronger peach lateral stripe. And what's kind of noteworthy about this animal is he's got these cool peaked saddles. They're kind of blocky, but also kind of peaked. And as you probably know, the peak saddles are more typically seen in the Surinames. They're more rare in the Peruvian red-tails, but Peruvian red-tails can have the peak saddles. He's also got some really cool head markings, really cool eyelash markings, as well as a lot of belly speckling. So real nice example of an Iquitos Peru true red-tailed boa. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Stay tuned in the next few years, and many of these boas are going to be entering the breeding rounds, and hopefully producing some really beautiful baby true red-tailed boas here at Bryan Boas. As always, if you have any questions about boas, feel free to shoot me an email or comment below. Thanks for watching and enjoy your boas.